All right, welcome back. Today, we're talking about money, honey. Okay, you're going to love this one. Now, I want you to imagine this. Your bills are paying themselves. Your savings are growing without you lifting a finger. And you're investing in your future like a pro. And all this happening automatically. This is the work of my guests today, Shana and Vanessa, known as the Budget Besties. They're the hosts of the top 10 podcast, Financial Coaching for Women, and they're best friends and business partners on mission to redefine personal and business finance for women worldwide. They're master financial coaches who help women really take ownership of your money with a budget system that fits your real life and your big dreams. Let's welcome these beautiful ladies to the show.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Yes.
We are here, Judy, to talk about the B word.
Ooh, yeah.
B word meaning budget?
Yes. It's very taboo, we've heard. People don't like that word.
They run from it, right? So I love how you ladies are unapologetically calling BS on traditional budgeting. So I would love for you to first tell us what traditional budgeting really is and what is your way of budgeting?
Yeah. Well, the main thing that we're calling BS is tracking. What we think people think of when they're budgeting is they have to track everything that they've done, every expense, every time they spent money, they have to go back and account and reconcile, and all these boy words, honestly, Judy. Reconcile, fixed expenses, variable. Ugh, no, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that complicated, and it can actually be much more simple.
I actually heard on a podcast this morning, the guy was talking about tracking. The first thing you want to do is track all your expenses. And I thought, I don't have time, nor do I want to have the time to do that. I think another thing that we call BS on is the idea that a budget is restrictive. A lot of people hear the word and they think that means no, like that's what they equate it to. And we're here to tell you that no, we think it allows you to be able to spend your money, save your money, buy the things, do the things, live your dream, but you have to have it in order to make a plan for yourself.
Yeah. We say you can be bougie on a budget, Judy, and we believe it.
I love that. I feel like your whole thing is the gurus say budgeting is restrictive, like tie you down to say no to things. You're saying budget is your ticket to freedom.
Absolutely. Especially, Judy, we're old friends. We've been on podcasts together now. So as we were talking about with women have a special role when it comes to money. And, what I see and know when it comes to women is they're responsible for a lot of things with their money. And they are usually feeling like, I don't understand where it's going to come from. They're very anxious. And there's a lot of worry that comes back and forth with, do we have enough money for food? Do we have enough money for field trips? And then don't even talk about adding in a business. Yeah. Hello, let's just double all of that anxiety. So to your exact point, yes, knowing your money, knowing your budget gives you freedom from all of that, control and freedom.
They're holding a lot of weight. So a lot of our clients, they don't want to, it's not necessarily they're hiding it from their spouse. They don't want them to have to deal with it. So they're trying to handle it and deal with it on their own. And there's just a lot of baggage, a lot of frustration and shame there. And so we really have come in and helped women just turn their finances around. And then they're like, hey, babe, look at this. Look what we're doing. Look what we're now accomplishing. And they're doing more with their money. Now each of them have spending money. They're able to go on that vacation. Also they're saving, like there's a lot happening, but it really was just organizing and setting up systems, which we know that you love, which we love, to allow them to do the things that they want to do.
Yeah. So, what always never ceases to amaze me, how women come to me and they haven't yet separated their business money and their personal money.
So many times.
And I know I really want to speak to that. Yeah. I want to speak to the importance of why every business owner needs to have a business account. And then to your way of separating business from personal money the right way. Talk to us about that, if you would.
Well, first of all, listen, get ready, like lock in, because we're ready for you to have so many bank accounts. And don't worry, it's going to be fine. We're all going to get through this together. And on the other side, it's going to be wonderful. But absolutely, one of the biggest problems overall, Judy, with budgeting is we're trying to do everything in one account and act like we can even understand or scroll enough to figure out what's happening with all of these transactions. That is what's making it difficult. Okay. We are not using grandma's budgeting system anymore. We've got way more things going on with our finances. So we really do. Absolutely. First step, you have to have business accounts separated from your personal account. And then once you've done that, we actually want you to have separate business accounts, and Vanessa can speak to those, and separate personal accounts that make it even more simple, even more clear about what's happening with your money.
Well, first of all, your CPA will love you, or your bookkeeper. So, the idea of having it organized and separate. When you come, I actually heard somebody this morning on a podcast talk about the only creditor you never want to really piss off is the IRS, right? So it's like, and that really starts with your accounts. That starts with knowing what's going on with your finances. So if we can keep that separate and organized, and then like Shana said, within that, we actually recommend you have multiple checking and multiple savings for your business and for your personal. So, but hold on, don't check out yet, guys. A lot of people will hear that and they'll go, oh, wait, stop. No, I can't even handle one account. How would you expect me to handle multiple accounts? But the reality is that what we've seen is it's actually easier for your business to have a couple extra accounts to keep it organized. If you think about the cash envelope system that we're also familiar with, we're just taking that into a digital form and having, an income account that shows exactly what you made, especially for businesses that are, that have irregular income, right? You need to be able to have an account that pools and has your income in it. And then you send what you need for monthly expenses into your OPEX account, which is your operating expense account. So that account is all of your reoccurring bills. So that's another checking account that all you have in there is all of your bills that you are spending on your business. And then we recommend having a business spending account, which is what you go buy, take a client out to lunch on, you buy stuff on Amazon, you need stamps, you're purchasing stuff for shipping. Like, in order for you to really see where your money is going in your business, we recommend you kind of need to separate it and organize it. And so that way, okay, this is what I'm spending every month. This is what my business expenses are as far as bills, right? And then this is my income. You can really clearly see what's going on.
And I just want to say real quick, Judy, what we know is you're very successful. You're very smart. We're talking to your listeners and you, Judy, but also your listeners. We know you are good at what you do. Like we've said, God has called you, you're doing it. That's awesome. What we don't have is an expectation that you already knew this or that you were doing it right, because no one has ever shown you. Like I said before, personal finances is hard enough, let alone let's add business. Like, put that at the bottom of the list of anything that any of us ever wanted to learn about business finances. Okay, except for Vanessa, she gets the gold star. But so just give yourself some grace and understand that we don't expect that you already knew this, but you do want, as that CEO, as that high achieving woman, you're going to need to take ownership of it. And what we're telling you is by separating it, it's going to make it easier and more clear. And you're going to be able to actually set up a system instead of something that you have to keep relearning, keep retrying, tracking, accounting, reconciling. Like, no, thank you. We don't want that for you.
Well, and what it allows is, like, if you know exactly what your business costs every month, you can set an automatic transfer. Here's that automation, the automatic transfer from your income account into that OPEX account that is paying your monthly bills automatically. So every month that money is going in and you know that your monthly bills are taken care of. And the same concept for that business spending account. If you say, okay, I am going to give myself a $500 a month budget for Amazon purchases, office supplies, whatever that looks like. If you're a chiropractor, they have different tools. If we have massage therapists, they have oils and stuff, right? So if you have a certain amount of money that you're allowing yourself to budget in for spending, guess what? That automatically gets transferred into that business spending account and holds you super accountable to that number, right? So instead of it all being in one account, trying to figure out, how much is this? How much is that? Oh, I didn't have enough for personal groceries this much, so I'm going to use my business card to pay for personal groceries. Or my kids, I accidentally grabbed the wrong card and I swiped it for a medical copay, right? Like, all of that is so convoluted into one account. We really need to separate it out.
So good. So good. Well, here is an issue that even my mastermind clients have, and it is cash flow problems, right? Even though their monthly revenue is good, like 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 a month, when they look at what's left, a lot of times it's less than they expected. So what would you say to her to get a handle, besides what you've already said, which I think is a great systematized and automated way?
Well, it's just like with what we deal with personal finances. It's because you don't actually know what your business costs in a month. And that is what we would start with. We would say, get your very simple one-page budget out, list all of your expenses. Let's really see what it is, right? So, maybe you're in Judy's program and you're paying for coaching or something like that. That's in there. Also, the Canva subscription. It's just like with your personal. There's all these random things that you're paying for with your business. You might have payroll, and you haven't figured out yet how to get ahead of that, right? And understand how to keep that part of it. You also need to be saving for taxes. And when you actually look at it all on paper, this is what happens all the time. I'm making $40,000. Oh, but my profit, like what I'm actually making after everything's said and done, is not there. So the first thing we'd say is just get it all on one paper so that you can see what's really going on with your business, and especially with what Vanessa said, with what you're spending, because a lot of times I've seen a lot of business owners, they just spend, and therefore not necessarily stuff that you need to. Like, we want to grow at the speed of cash, right? And then they're troubled, like, well, I'm not actually making any money. I'm not actually able to pay myself. And now I'm spending all of this time and effort on a business that's making all of this money, but I don't get to keep any of it, which is nobody wants that.
Yeah. Well, and if you're a service-based business, ideally you should be the most profitable. It's the businesses that are like, they sell tangible things. So you should be profitable. If you're not, you have got to take a look at your numbers. And we coach a lot of business owners that are personal clients that have businesses. So we have to do both. You cannot just do your personal budget and like forget about your business, or you can't just do your business budget and forget about your personal. It all flows into each other. And so you have to do both. You have to see what you cost. And to Shana's point, you need to know what your business costs monthly, but here's the caveat to that. What you cost monthly also needs to include what you pay on annual subscriptions, your annual licenses, all your annual bills, plus your taxes. You need to take all that and divide it down and put it, or multiply it, whatever you need to do, and then divide it down into, okay, what does that cost me monthly? and put that in your budget so you can get a full picture to go, okay, it's not that this month my business cost me 5,000 and next month it cost me 20,000. It's no, we are making your business expenses the exact same every month for the entire year. So you can see some consistency, because guess what? You're the business owner and you deserve to have that, and you get to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Vanessa said, if you can't afford it, you can't pay for it. But what, like we said, if once we get stuff on paper with our clients, it's like, do you see why you're having quote unquote cash flow problems? Because everything that pops up, I need that new program. I need that email marketing. I don't need the free versions of everything until I get to 6 figures. I need everything, right? It's kind of like, how Vanessa will say, when we move out, we're like, I'm going to get the new house and the new furniture and just be like, just like my parents, when I'm 20, it's going to be fine. Like, it's like that. No, your business needs to grow as your income grows, right? You can get, we think, once you hit a new milestone, is there a hire, for example, like an admin or something that you want to, or is there a better program that's going to help you, like Judy teaches, do more marketing, do more automation? But that's not where you start. And you have to see those numbers and be okay with them, and let there be some margin, right? Yeah. And let there be cash flow margin, like you said.
Well, and listen, as a multi 6-figure business, there are still versions of things that we are using. We're using the free versions, okay, of things. We haven't upgraded yet to the paid versions of some of it, because we can see the value in the free version now, and that's fine with us. Because there are other things that we are spending our money on, because we are one of those that want to do what we say, right? So we are growing at the speed of cash. The very, very first budget we ever made in our first month of business, we were $40 profitable.
Watch out.
Okay. So we were very excited
Please
about that, Judy. But we were growing at the speed of cash. That's where we started.
Yeah.
Good. That's so good. And that's a good word, because, I think that entrepreneurs, it's so easy is a side note, but it's so easy for vendors to find us and pitch us things. Yeah. And they make it seem like we need it. Like, Russell Brunson's top end, whatever, or now it's go high level. You need, whatever.
We want all of those
different softwares. Yeah, we want them, but do we really need them? We really need to be intentional and strategic, and it can be tough to evaluate, right?
Yeah. Judy, what I want to say is, did I earn them? So I want that question to sort of marinate in your mind. So I remember I have a client. It's so fun. Also, all these cool businesses. She is a pitching softball coach. That's what she does. It's very niche in. Love it. She wanted to get this coaching program that was going to teach her whatever. And I said, okay, well, you need to go out and kill whatever it is that you want, like, and bring it home, profit, right? Right. So this program costs this is how many clients that is for you to be able to pay for it. Right. So think about, if I really think that this thing is going to take me to the next level, what can I do to earn it and not stress out my business budget? Because that's not fun. And like Vanessa and I, we have sort of like a business wish list, right? We just did a national research study that cost $25,000. And we specifically set aside all of our profits from our launch last year to be able to pay for it. Right. So you can be intentional, you can get those big ticket items, but you have to do it on purpose. Because the other one quick thing that I want to say is, what we've noticed is women treat their business like, I can just spend this money. It's not like, they may be more conservative in their personal budget, but sometimes they're like, oh, it's just business. It's a business expense. Swipe.
Business write-off.
No, we want you to be intentional with that.
Yeah.
That's a good word. That's a good word. All right. Let's talk about using your bank like a personal assistant. I love when I read that.
Well,
I understand. What are you talking about?
I think a lot of people forget the amazing tools that your bank app has. They feel like they need to seek out other apps and systems and whatever, like third-party apps, to be able to make some of these things happen for them. But the reality is we want your bank to be your personal assistant. And what we mean by that is it allows transfers, not just regular transfers, but automatic and reoccurring transfers, right? So what we want you to do is figure out, when you make your budget, how much money do I need for my business expenses, personal expenses, business spending, personal spending? Like, there's so much more to go into as far as like how to set up your budget and what you need to do there. But as far as the automation part of it, once you figure out those numbers, then you can go to your bank app and go, okay, from my personal bills account, from my business income account, how much do I need to transfer to my bills account and my spending accounts and my OPEX account to be able to fund my business? And you can set those up reoccurring and automatic. So that way it's hands off. Like, we know that if your hands are in it, if you're messing with it, chances are it's probably going to get messed up. Love you. But that's just what we've seen. Mm-hmm. We've seen the more manual that the process is, the more that we just totally mess it up.
Yeah. Let me give you just a quick example. So, because, for me, we're both visual learners, and I can't show you with my hands, but maybe it'll make sense. I have a client that is, she's an esthetician. So she has her own spa. Okay. So she has an income account for her business where everything that she makes gets dumped into there. Just all, so a lot of businesses have this problem. Like, I get money from Square and Venmo and here. Every income possibility is hooked up to this account, and it pools there. And every Monday, she personally makes a transfer to her OPEX, right? So depending on some variables, but she will put money in OPEX. And then that's all she has to do. Literally that's all she has to do, Judy. So she moves money into the OPEX, and we have a minimum baseline budget that she has. We know that she's going to basically bring in, the 20K. We know that's going to happen. So then everything else happens automatically. On the 1st and 15th, her OPEX pays her personal account, her paycheck, the 1st and 15th, every time. She doesn't have to do anything with that. Her OPEX pays her spending account. So she's got, or her supplies account, right? So she's got to get all of those, I don't know, eyebrow things or whatever people do. And then her OPEX account pays every bill for her. She doesn't go in and do anything. She just has to, as an entrepreneur, look Monday, look at the numbers. Like, you want to know your numbers, look at it and make that transfer. Everything else happens. And by the way, just really quick side note, over in her personal account, the same thing's happening. That paycheck drops. And then the next day, her grass and groceries are funded automatically, like Vanessa said. The bank, she has separate accounts and it transfers to the different accounts for spending. It pays her bills automatically. And she has a little savings account. And she has a dog that's a French poodle. And her name is Twyla. And she has a little account for Twyla too. It can be whatever you want it to be. But the point is, banks can be your personal assistant. You can have several accounts. You can rename them. You can set up, like Vanessa said, recurring automatic transfers. You can put notes on the transfer so you remember what happens. You can hide certain accounts. So if you have a really good savings account that you might be tempted to pull, you can hide it. There's so much your bank can do to be your personal assistant.
So I just want everyone to hear like the amount of automation and systemization that Shana just explained, right? Like, think of how much easier and simpler your life, not just your personal life, but your business life would be if you just took the time one time to set all this up, figure it out, and then just kind of set it and forget it. Now, business is one less set it and forget it than personal because it is kind of variable. So like she said, she goes in there every Monday and looks at the numbers and makes that one manual transfer. And then all she has to do is make that one manual transfer and everything else happens automatically. Now, businesses do it different, but like, just think about that for a minute. Think of how much more simple everything could be.
Yeah, it's simpler and it absolutely saves time. But okay, this is going to be from a place of ignorance. I'm not sure if it's an internet thing. When you say OPEX, what is that? What are you saying?
It is a boy term, so we need to come up with a new one. Very great question, Judy. It's just your operational expenses. So the expenses that the business has to operate as a business. But yeah, it's a dumb name. So we're going to work on renaming that. Yes, correct.
Yes, we've got a female version of that. Yeah,
yes, you're right. We will do that.
Kind of like Bougie on a Budget, but it'll be very businessy.
Businessy.
Love it. Love it. Okay. One of the other things that I know we wanted to have you talk and you touched on it, but I want to land on a little bit more, planning for irregular income. You know, the marketplace now is a little wonky depending on your industry and whether it's online or offline, whatever. But how do you advise your clients to plan ahead for irregular income?
Okay, so this is one of those things that we want to put you back in the driver's seat for. We understand that not all businesses have sustainable income every single month, and it can be very different. That is okay. What we want to do is make sure that your monthly business income can be covered by your lowest income month. Okay. So when we talk about growing at the speed of cash, you have to grow at the speed of cash with your lowest income month for your business. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So good. Okay.
And then when you make more, okay, when you make more, then that can fund all the other fun things that you want in your business and that wish list and everything that you have. But we also need to know how much you cost. So when Shana was talking about before, her client, her business account paid her personal, like her paycheck, you need to know how much you cost personally. So then you can put that in your business to know how much your business needs to make, not only cover business expenses, but personal expenses. And that is a factor in that. So when you're trying to figure out how much your business costs, you need to factor in your paycheck to that because you have to fund yourself as well.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say to think about irregular income is think about what you make in a year. And to Vanessa's point, so if my personal budget costs $10,000 a month, then I know I need to pay myself $10,000 a month. To Vanessa's other point, some months you might have $30,000 months. Some months you might have $6,000. What you still do is let the money pool up and then you only pay yourself that much. And obviously this is a little more complicated. We work with people one-on-one to figure this out. But the point is just because you have a huge income month doesn't mean you spend that. You might want to put that into an income holding account so that you can consistently pay yourself a set amount. And it does take that roller coaster feel out of it because of course it's hard to plan at all for irregular income, but we want you to be able to take that irregular feeling out of it.
And this is why having that income account is so important. And it keeps it completely separate than your business operating expense account, because you do need to know, like Shana said, how much do you cost? And if I want a consistent income, I can pay myself that consistently every single month. And just because I have a realtor that is a client and I love her, but when she has really good months, she will just like give herself an extra $10,000. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't do that because literally 2 months ago, she had to put $30,000 on a credit card because she didn't have any closings. So you have to be able to fund your business every month consistently. And when you have those high months, you need to be able to let that money pool and hold for when you have those low months. You don't get to just give yourself bonuses until the end of the year when you can actually look and see what, everything that's happened as a whole.
Yes, I love that. And a lot of real estate agents and brokers are listening right now. So take heed for sure. All right. Well, as we wrap up, before we get to your amazing freebie that you're offering my beautiful audience, is there anything that we haven't touched on or anything you want to emphasize as we end?
Oh, I don't know. I think we talked plenty, but again, I just do want to reiterate the fact that you are smart, you are successful. The fact that you don't know this stuff does not mean anything about that. It has nothing to do with that. You're totally capable. It's just another thing that you get to learn and get to add to your tool belt. But just make sure you're giving yourself the grace and the intention that you have to take the time to learn this. It's not something anybody ever taught you. It's not going to come automatically, you know. So just but just apply those same principles of why you're smart and why you're successful and savvy and all of that and put it into taking ownership of your finances.
Well, and I would say like that's why God put these us, you know, Judy, that's why God put people in your life to be able to help you. Like Proverbs 31. She had a lot of help. Love that about her.
It wasn't just her. We
right?
read it.
She did it with a village, and we need to do the same. We cannot do this on our own. God has put so many people in our lives to be able to help our business and bless us, and y'all are no different. And so use those resources to your advantage to be able to just get that jumpstart that you need and that piece that you need in not only your business, but your personal finances.
Well, this is so good. And everyone listening right now, I want you to download this amazing freebie because you need to become not only financially literate, but financially savvy. So tell us about the 49 Smart Money Moves Guide.
Okay, this is really like a cheat sheet. So what we did, Judy, is we have women like you, all these high performing, high achieving women. They are our clients. We took the most common action items that we give them after coaching sessions, and we compiled them, right? So everything that you imagine 5-minute tasks that I can do to get my finances in order. We put them in here, and it covers everything. It covers everything you can think of, so that you can just slowly make some progress and get some ideas on how to just speed up the winning with your finances. Yeah.
Yeah. These are literally coaching tips, coaching advice that we have gone through every single one of our clients, and it's really helped them. So you can grab that at budgetbesties.com/smart money.
Okay, so good. And we're going to have all the links to your socials so that we can connect with you and definitely download that. Well, ladies, it has been an honor to spend some time with you today. And I have no doubt you've just blown some people's minds. And so thank you. Thank you both for sharing your pearls of wisdom with us.
Pearls of wisdom. I came back to the pearls. We are so grateful that you would share your audience. We know that they love you and they trust you, and that you would, bring us on. We really appreciate that. We know that it's a very wonderful resource to be able to speak into your audience and that you built and worked so hard for. We appreciate it. We hope we didn't blow their mind too much, but we can't promise anything.
Like, I know what we talk about is like, what did they just say? And why would I do that? Why do I need that? But honestly, I think what we've seen over the years is as we continue to tweak our system, and what we tell our clients, the automation part, the systemization, the separation of accounts, it literally just keeps being the thing that people absolutely love about what we teach. And so we love sharing it. So thank you for having us.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, thanks so much. And ladies listening, if you haven't yet left a review, please go ahead and do that and reach out to me at Judy Weber Co. I want to know other topics and other guests that you would like to see on the show. Until then, God bless. Talk soon.